Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 and verse 2. Blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. First and foremost, I take about praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great mercy and do well. Salutation to the men of the whole land, since elect. It is your brother Marcus out here in Trinidad. Just want to do a little edification for the elect's sake. And the name of this lesson would be Keep Your Eyes on the Prize. Keep your eyes on the prize. Alright, and basically, being in this truth is a walk. It's a walk with load on your back. As Yahushua said, take ye my burden, for my burden is easy and my yoke is light. He also talks about him that not willing to bear his cross. Alright, so this is not something easy. Yahushua himself said this in Matthew 7, and I believe is 21, somewhere around there. He says, enter ye at the straight gate. The position of difficulty, we gonna catch hell in this truth. We gonna catch some hell. Alright? We gonna catch some hell. Alright? Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai didn't call us here to just have it, easy peasy, because we are sons, we are not bastards. If you're in this truth and you're not catching hell, then you're a bastard. Alright, a lot of times when you truth and then you catching hell, your car might break down, you might be broke, your woman might leave you, she might cheat on you, all sorts of things, you might get kicked out from where you live in. And others might say, yeah, you see, look what happening, he's sinning against the Lord, that's why he's catching so much hell. Nah, this is what the Lord said. This Acts 14 and 22, it says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. Exhort them to continue in the faith. All right? That is why the name of the lesson is Keep Your Eyes on the Prize. Because we are exhorting you to continue in the faith. It says, and that we must through much, not some, not few, much tribulation enter into the kingdom of heaven. So when you find you not catching hell, or you see our brother not catching hell in this truth and it looking like smooth runnings, mark that man. As the scripture says, mark that man. All right? But, as an individual, when you catching hell in this truth, don't let that discourage you. That is an initiation right to enter into the Lord's fold, to enter into the kingdom. All right? In Isaiah, he said, acceptable men, I have chosen in the furnace of adversity. All right? He said that I have chosen you in the furnace of adversity. And acceptable men are chosen in the fires of adversity. All right? And if you're an acceptable man, then guess what? Acceptable means, chosen of the Lord, fit for choosing. All right? Fit for choosing. So if you consider yourself an acceptable man, you're going to catch hell. You're going to catch some hell. All right? You're going to catch some hell. All right? This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trials, which is to try you. Revelation talks about, to try them that dwell on the earth. When you go in Wisdom of Solomon, what did the wicked man say? It says, he maketh his boast that the Lord is his father. It says, if the righteous man be the son of the Most High, the Lord will save him. Let us try him. Let us try him. All right? So the Lord sent the tempter out here to try you, to see whether your boast is standing firm, whether your boast is credible. You say that you are the son of the Lord, all right, no problem. Let's put that to the test. All right, it says, as though some strange things happen unto you, but rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Mashiach's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Mashiach, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of Yahweh resteth upon you. On their part, he is evilly spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified. Your parents say, look, since you gone into that cult, you're catching a hell, you can't see your way, your family gone and leave you, you had a good paying job, you didn't get fired, you look at the car, look at how you're dressing, guess what? On their part, he is evilly spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified. All right, catching hell is part of this truth. Apostle has said it. You're gonna suffer, so learn to suffer. You're gonna suffer, so learn to suffer. Keep your eyes on the prize. When you catch hell, when you catch in hell, don't let that turn you away. Don't let that, disenchant you and discourage you from wanting to be in the truth. That is when the Lord dealing with you, he said, I will correct you in measure. We're gonna go through this. It's a fire that we have to go through. All right, it's a fire that we have to go through. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 1, it says, my son, if thou come to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. All right, when you come into this truth, you guess what? You're gonna do the things that please unto the Lord. All right, it says, incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. So don't run to do BS when you catch in hell, when you realize you're late on your rent or bills or some payment and it's coming down to the 11th hour and you don't know how you're going to pay. You're thinking about going to rob or some kind of thing. Nah, guess what? The Lord have your back. It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at the last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right? Acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right? Isaiah 48 and 10, behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. All right? We can catch help from the Lord. The Lord chosen us. Those that were with him were called, chosen, and faithful. You were called, and the reason you were chosen, because why? Because you stood the test. It says, I have chosen in the furnace of affliction. And because you were chosen, you were also faithful because you stood the test. You stood the test. All right? That is the main goal. That is the main goal. All right? This is 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 19. It says, nevertheless, the foundation of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai standeth sure, having this seal, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai knoweth them that are his. And let everyone that nameth the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai depart from iniquity. So you have to stop sinning. It says, but in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, some to honor and some to dishonor. If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work. All right? In Ecclesiasticus chapter 15 and 1, it says, he that feared the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will do good. All right? So that is how you're going to be sanctified and fit for the master's use. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way, by taking heed thereto according to thy words, all his words. And don't forget where you come from. Don't forget your beginning. When you come in this truth humble, you have to remain humble. Don't let knowledge puff you up. All right? Because we will do it, put you on a slippery slope, send you straight back down that mountain. You have to keep ascending. This is about ascension, not descending. All right? Not supposed to be descending in this truth. All right? This is the final precept here. This is the book of James chapter 5 and verse 10. It says, take, my brethren, the prophets who have spoken in the name of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience. Behold, we count them happy which endure. You have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord. Look at what Job went through, and he got double at the end. Look at what Yahweh went through, and he's sitting on the right hand of glory. He said, and the Lord said, we're gonna sit in his chair. We're gonna be joint here with him. It says, and the Lord is very pitiful and tender and of tender mercy. So we're gonna catch hell. We're gonna catch hell. Whether you are a brother, whether you are a sister, we're gonna catch hell. This road was not meant to be easy. It was easy. The first entrance was broad and was easy. Now, because we fell away, now the second entrance was made narrow. Now we have to work and labor to enter into that rest. All right? So don't get turned away when things get hard. When the going gets tough, you have to get tougher than the going. All right, though you fall, you have to get back up and keep pushing until the end. We're almost out. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Abba Shem Shai. And say double honor to the apostles of greatness and do well. Salutation to the men of the hope and since elect. This is your brother Marcus out here in Trinidad saying shalom and stay strong. Shalom.